Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft and I'm back for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast, and today I'm going to be doing the grand finals from DreamHack Valencia, and this is going to be the best of 5 that you guys have been waiting for. This is going to be Quantic Hyun as the red Zerg player in the top left hand corner of Belshir Vestige. And his opponent is going to be EG Jaedong, the blue Zerg in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. And this, of course, is, like I said before, the grand finals, but Jaedong's 4th attempt in a row to get first place, to get the gold medal, to get all that money here in DreamHack. And he's basically been stopped short 3 times in a row. And this is his chance, man. This is his chance for redemption. And can he do it? He is going to be playing a Zerg versus Zerg, which back in the old days was known as ZvZ or Jaedong versus Zerg. Not really Zerg versus Zerg because he was just so dominant. His matchup lifetime statistics in ZvZ was an astounding 80% at one point. Which, you know, on average, a good win rate in Starcraft is something like 55%. That's considered pretty good. A lot of times, you know, you're gonna lose, but if you have that 5% edge, that's all you really need. It's kind of like poker, you know. So Jaedong had an 80% win rate, which basically meant he was unstoppable. And it looks like right now he is going to be going for some type of 10 pool. He does have a very quick spawning pool down, and we have a lot of Zerglings on the way here. So Jaedong is going to start this matchup on Belshir Vestige with a little bit of aggression. And on this map, I think it's a good idea because you don't need to scout for the 3rd or the 4th or the 2nd base. You just need to go straight over to the opponent's side of the map. You know where they spawn because it's a one-on-one map. And so Jaedong here is going to send these Zerglings over, and that Overlord is going to sniff out the Zerglings on the way. But will Hyun be able to respawn in time? I'm not entirely sure. He doesn't even have a spawning pool up yet. It's still on the way, and of course Zerg cannot produce attacking units until the spawning pool is done, and they can't even make a queen. So he's going to have to rely on drones by itself, or he'll have to cancel off this hatchery, and this is just the perfect opening against what Hyun did, which is a 15 hatch. 15, of course, standing for your supply when the hatchery comes down. And Hyun now in a lot of trouble. Gonna try to have to micro and save this hatchery or save the drones. It looks like 2 Zerglings going into the main base. 1 drone taking some damage. But Hyun immediately is now gonna have to pull all of his drones off the line. He will actually let the hatchery finish up, which means he must keep it alive now, no matter the cost. And that is a lot of Zerglings on that hatchery, pounding it down. I think this is a mistake by Hyun, and an epic loss here for him at the natural expansion. What a great way to start the grand finals here for DreamHack. Jaedong starting off with a win. Well, I don't want to say a win, but you know, a huge you know, taking out that hatchery at the natural expansion. Basically, it's a big victory. Might not be a win yet, but it's as close as you can get here in a Zerg versus Zerg. And Jaedong really, I know he wants to take home that first place prize, but Hyun here is not out of it yet. I mean, he can still recover. It's gonna be hard, but if anybody can do it, it's you know, Hyun. Hyun is well considered right now to be one of the, if not the best Zergs in Korea. I think, you know, the three best Zergs would probably be something like Hyun, Life, and Jaedong. Those 3 players are just amazing to watch. They are the world's top class, I feel like. So yeah, this is basically, guys, what you guys are watching right now isn't just a Zerg versus Zerg. It is the best Zerg versus Zerg you can hope for. So for all of you guys, all of you Zerg fanatics out there, then I guess this is your day. But yeah, Jaedong starting off really well here. It looks like he is going to be going for Zergling speed to follow up. And that's not a bad idea at all. Get Zergling speed going. You don't want to, you know, get too confident. Even though you've killed off that natural expansion, a lot of times that will force the enemy Zerg player into some type of all-in. And if you are facing an all-in, Zergling speed, Baneling Nest, those are typically good things to have. And it looks like right now, Quantic Hyun is going to be going for that natural expansion. He is going to try to rebuild it, which is a little strange, I feel like. I'm not too sure if that's the best strategy right now, considering, you know, how far behind he is. But in a way, it's almost like you don't really have a choice. Stay on one base. You don't have enough larva production to go all in on one base. You really are required to have that natural expansion down no matter what path you take. And right now, Jaedong sees that natural coming. He's got a bunch of Zerglings over here on the right-hand side. I think he's going to try to go and destroy it, or he could just sit back and say, well, I've already got a huge advantage to start this game off. I don't need to commit. One thing I will say is that he doesn't really have that many drones. He's only got 19 under 27, so Hyun has a drone lead right now, surprisingly. That is not what I expected to see, but then again, when you see how many Zerglings there are on the map here, it all starts to make sense. Jaedong is going to try to go and end the game now. He is tired of it, and he is just going to try to... Whoa, what the heck is going on here? Okay, a couple of Zerglings were being attacked by the Spinecrawler, but here comes Jaedong with everything. Zerglings and Banelings. He's going to commit to killing off the Natural for the second time in a row. Great transfuses by Hyun, though, to keep the Spinecrawler alive, but finally the Crawler and the Hatchery go down, and Hyun is going to be forced back into one base once again. Just a battle of submission here from Jaedong. Couple of Spinecrawlers coming up just in the nick of time, seriously. And I think just the Spinecrawlers themselves, I think will probably, oh, maybe not. The Zerglings will be able to run on by because the 2 Queens did go down. But I think Hyun probably bought himself just enough to stay alive here. And once again, he's going to try to recapture the Natural expansion. He is not giving up. He is not going to surrender. This is the Grand Finals. There's no reason to preemptively GG. He still has a lot of drones, guys. 28 drones under 31. And he knows every time he holds off these attacks, he knows that he's got more drones, or at least he had more drones than Jaedong did. The only thing he's got to catch up to is bases. So I think that's one of the reasons why he hasn't thrown up his hands in defeat and said, it's all over, I'm not going to even try anymore. It's because he knows that Jaedong is committing so much to these attacks, he can't possibly have that many drones, and he can't possibly have a third expansion down yet. So, in fact, he even has an Overlord over there to see when that third is going to come. So, I really like what Hyun is doing here. He hasn't given up. He's going to stay in the game, even though now he's fallen down in supply on drones 30 to 41. You know, it's not over yet until it, you know, the fat lady sings. Sorry to use that expression, but that's kind of the situation Hyun is in right now. He isn't going to give up. And it looks like he has a Roach Warren on the way. He's going to try to get Roaches on the field, and that's not a bad idea in a Zerg versus Zerg. If you're feeling like you're behind in this kind of situation, a lot of times you just got to get Roaches out there because it gives you that sturdy ability to defend against Zerglings, against Banelings. The only thing here is Hyun probably knows that Jaedong loves Mutalisk, and if Mutalisk do start coming out here, it's going to be pretty hard for Hyun to defend with just Roaches. Although it looks like on the production tab, Jaedong has not gone for Spire. I think he's just going to stick with Roaches too. In fact, yeah, there's Roach Speed and +1 Missile on the way. One Baneling here kind of skirting out on the enemy creep. It looks like Jaedong is trying to bait the Zerglings in order to get a detonation off. Unfortunately, that Baneling, will it actually survive? Yeah, I think it will, actually. No, it will not. Jaedong not controlling the Baneling at the last second, allowing it to detonate. So, and in Zerg versus Zerg, you don't want to let one Baneling die against a Zergling. I say die, but more like, you know, use itself on a Zergling, because when you do that, it's not cost effective. The Zergling costs 25 minerals. The Baneling add-on as well costs more money, and you're only killing a Zergling for that price, so it's not a good trade. You want to kill at least 3 Zerglings per Baneling, I think, in order for it to be cost effective. And here comes Hyun. He is actually going to be going for another hatchery here. I mean, this is just surprising. It's shocking to me that Hyun is still in this game, I feel like. He's down 67 under 95 supply. You know, he is losing, but he's not out of it yet, I don't think. And that just goes to show what kind of a player Hyun is. I've casted tons of his games on my YouTube channel already. I don't really need to hype up any of these players any more than I already have, but they are literally the world's best Zerg players. So this is it. Here we go. Jaedong coming in here, and he does have Roach Speed, which is a huge upgrade over the enemy speedless Roaches of Hyun. And it looks like a couple of Zerglings are going to run into the main base as well. But I think Hyun might just have enough to hold off the Roaches, and it looks like Jaedong is going to pull out. Meanwhile, these 4 Zerglings going to try to run in. Jaedong not deciding to hide them in the corner to make them into Banelings. Instead, just sending them in, and Hyun actually holds it off with minimal losses. Not a bad job there, although once again, Jaedong attacking on that exterior expansion. And I don't know if Hyun is going to have enough this time around to defend. I think this might be all she wrote. Really, Jaedong just needs to continue rallying additional reinforcements over to this hatchery, and unfortunately for Hyun, he's just completely outnumbered. He's outmanned, he's outgunned, he's outroached. He's trying to get his crawlers underground, but one of them doesn't even want to comply, and Hyun is just going to have to call GG. So the first game of the Grand Finals is going to go to EG Jaedong. And we are going to go right into Game 2 without further hesitation, so stay tuned, guys. Game 2 is on the way. This is HD, signing out.